Hello and welcome. I'm Dr. Troy Munson at Infinity Whole Health. And as foods go, this is one of my favorites to talk about. It's ice cream. Now, those of you that have been around know that when I talk about ice cream, it means that we have liver gallbladder challenges. And so since I love ice cream and have trouble saying no from it or saying no to it, guess what I work on within my own body? Yes, I work on my liver gallbladder. And so if you're out there and you love ice cream too, and you like the perfect ice cream, I got to listen to this. So my dream is that when I ate ice cream, it wouldn't just be limping along my liver gallbladder, but it would actually be doing something semi-healthy for me. So most of us, we go to the grocery store and we look at all these ice creams like, oh my gosh, look at these flavors. Can I have just like one of everything? And some of them are so fantastic, but most of them are filled with high fructose corn syrup. The milk is from cows that are anemic. The cream has been pasteurized. The milk has been homogenized. The ingredients are garbage, like they're putting cookies in it, that the flour is trash. It's just like, why even do it? And so if I get to design my own ice cream, this is what my ice cream would be. So for me, it's all about taste. I hope for you it is the similar. And so I try not to do much ice cream, but I can tell you that before I started working on liver gallbladder, I would eat ice cream every single night. Now, granted, we made our own, but it's still not the best thing to do. But now when we make it, I have since now gotten organic raw milk. It's phenomenal. Oh my goodness. And you can get raw cream. I mean, the real good stuff. So you take regular milk in the grocery store, it's like 3.25% standardized fat in it. That's why they have 2% and 1%, because 3.25, I think, or 3.5 is what their standardized is. But then they got 2%, they take even more fat, and then 1%, they take even more fat, and then non-fat milk, which is like, why even drink it? It's like water. So real milk, straight from the cow, is 8 to 9, sometimes even higher percent fat. It is glorious. Wow, is it good? And so when you make ice cream, you then typically use half and half, but we just add cream in the mixture that it calls for to make it even fluffier and creamier and more amazing. The more fat that you put in it, the more sating it is, but you can technically use less sugar. You'll be surprised. Can't tell me how many times I eat an ice cream, just like, why do they have to put so much sugar in this? I don't need it this sweet. So when we do something that is very high in fat, it's really difficult to keep the sugar in there because it makes us fat. So as you've listened to some of my podcasts on not combining sugars and fat, ice cream's probably one of the ones you really want to avoid. But if you do love ice cream and you love certain things in it, then your goal is to say, how do I get some of that organic whole milk that he was talking about? That sounds lovely. And some of that cream that's like not pasteurized, and it's not adulterated, it doesn't have chemicals put to it, so that when you whip it, it actually foams up and becomes heavy whipping cream. Because heavy whipping cream, they add a chemical to it to make it whip. If you just whip cream, real cream, you get butter. It doesn't actually whip. I've tried it, believe me. And so it's kind of bummed, but I still ate it because it was so good. So, but anyways, it's kind of like butter. So you could add a little bit of sugar to it, real sugar, and then you would have a sweet cream butter that's just one step after heavy whipping cream. So if you want to, and you love butter as much as I do, you could do that with just cream and not whip and not have the chemical to it to whip it. But for me, if I'm going to do it and I really don't want the chemicals of heavy whipping cream, and it's still pasteurized anyways in the store, you'll find even the organic stuff, and you just go for the raw cream, okay, I'm going to choose ice cream. So as we add that significant amount of cream and that whole milk, that's our base. We're going to put a little vanilla in it. We make our own vanilla. So you take vanilla beans and throw it in a bottle of Everclear, and within a few months, you've got vanilla extract. So from that, you're adding your vanilla as fresh as it can be. Remember, this is how I like my ice cream. Then we're going to now add sugar. Now we're going to use real sugar. Now, maybe you're a honey fan. All right. I have toyed with this aspect. I have not done it yet. I'm not a big honey fan, but I am enough that I have considered saying, okay, if honey is so darn good for us, we take a nice raw honey, stuff you can't even see through. It's beautiful. And you took that and you warmed up the milk, to about maybe 100, 105 degrees, not hot. You would want to do it very slow because you want to preserve everything about the milk, the nutrients, the vitamins, the minerals, all of it. You want to keep it whole. So you're going to heat up just enough so that you can melt and mix in that honey. Taste it a little bit and say, yep, it's just sweet enough. I've got the right amount of honey. Maybe you do a tablespoon, maybe you do 2, maybe you do 3. I'm not sure. I will tell you that with real raw sugar, dextrose, the good stuff, we'll add just right around a 1/4 cup. Depends. If I'm putting organic Oreos in it, I found them, even though obviously they're not Oreo brand, but if I have found a chocolate white filled cookie, we'll call it, and it is organic, I'll crush up 3, sometimes 4, and throw it in an entire 1/4. You're like, that's it? You don't need much. It's amazing how little needs to be in there to make it like totally yummy cookies and cream. It's my favorite ice cream. So if you love honey and you mix it up, then you're going to have to likely cool that mixture back down to that 40-degree temperature and then throw it in your ice cream maker. We use a Cuisinart that you put the bowl in the freezer and it just stays there until you need it. And you pull it out, add your mixture and let her rip. And usually it's funny. If it's summertime, it almost doesn't work. It's warm enough in the house that it doesn't become ice cream. It's kind of interesting. In the wintertime, has no problem getting so thick, you pretty much have to turn it off or you're going to burn up your motor. So when we get it close to the end where it really starts to get nice and thick, that's when we'll add the cookies. So the cookies actually stay firm. So there's a little bit of a thing there. Maybe you like strawberry ice cream and you're going to find the most amazing strawberries, fresh picked, organic if you can. I don't know if you ever pick strawberries, but when you see them on the vine and you pick off a real red strawberry and you eat it, it's like, oh my gosh, it's so good. And so that's the kind of fruit that we'd like to see going into our yogurt. We will pick blueberries every summer. And this farm out here has 3,000 plants. You literally can go from plant to plant, eat a couple until you find the ones you like and you can just pick it clean. And so that's typically how I'll do my blueberries. So I love blueberries, love good strawberries, love good cherries. I've gone and picked them myself in Wenatchee, Washington, and brought them home. And they're like, oh, they're so good. We have a peach tree. So I take those peaches and they just pop off the tree and they're so soft and they peel. It's like, oh my gosh, it's so good. So I love fresh fruit when it's in season in my ice cream. But if I can't, cookies and cream work really well because cookies and cream are always in season. So we've got this wonderful now mixture. I usually don't restrain myself, though I try a little, but I noticed that as I've worked on my liver gallbladder, that I'll eat ice cream maybe once a month now, not every day like I would. I really found it fascinating. Man, I just want ice cream. But really, as I started paying close attention to my liver and going to work on it, it's now, I've sometimes gone 6 months without ice cream. You're like, I know. And so you'll find that same kind of thing. If you're still craving ice cream and it's a daily occurrence for you, you're going to want to do the same thing. If you have questions, concerns about that, please contact me. I'll tell you how to work on your liver or coach you through it, or we might even work together. Either way, it's your deal. And so, but if you just want to keep eating ice cream because you love it and it's good for it, great. Why we're craving that kind of fat is because it actually helps bathe the liver a little bit and kind of helps move things through. So high fat diets tend to favor a little bit more liver. If they're bad fats, tends to not favor the liver. So we want to have really good fats going in. So when I do raw milk, it's my first and foremost concern is that it is a grass-fed cow. I really don't care that it's not organic. I do care that it's grass-fed because grass-fed milk produces omega-3 fats in the milk, and that's what I want. Grain-fed cows produce omega-6 fats in their fat. And so we already get way too many of those in our diet because those are kind of plant-based oils. We are not plants. We need omega-3s like fish oil, gamey meat, good grass-fed butter, good grass-fed milk from cows that are at least healthy. And so these are the kinds of things to look for when you look for, how am I going to make that ice cream just as good as I possibly can? That's the way you do it. And so then it's, you're not punishing yourself. You can eat more of it because you're using less sugar, but you could kind of figure out if I'm going to eat a sixth of this bowl and I've got a quarter cup of sugar, well, shoot, that's only about 10 calories in sugar. 10 grams, or rather 10 grams, or about 40 calories, 10 grams of sugar in that portion and about 40 calories in just the sugar. Now, the fat's a whole different story because it's more than double the amount of calories, but I'm not worried about that because I'm not going to overdo sugar in my diet, but it's the one place that I'm going to get some sugar is my ice cream. So if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right. I'm going to do it well. And I'm not going to use restraint because I've used incredibly good ingredients. That's the glorious thing about making things on your own. So I hope maybe you have your favorite ice cream. Go ahead and drop me a line. Tell me what you like. Love to hear it. Until next time, I'm Dr. Troy Munson at Infinity Whole Health.